Jungkook panicked. Jimin weakened. Two big names, two pillars of the most influential music group in K-pop history, have now become the center of a crisis shaking not only the fan community, but also national discourse. In a world where the lines between truth and perception grow increasingly blurred, one question hangs like a shadow over South Korea's skies. What really happened, and why is no one speaking? Initial information leaked to the public stated that both BTS members currently serving in the military, Jungkook and Park Jimin, were suddenly enrolled in a high-level secret military training. The operation, dubbed Binary Operation, is shrouded in strict classification and believed to be part of a national strategic mission never before assigned to public figures of their caliber. Military sources report the training is intensive and high-risk. However, the shock doesn't lie in the nature of the training, but rather in the reactions of these two global icons. Jungkook, known for his resilience and fiery spirit, was said to have an unusually emotional reaction. He reportedly panicked after receiving the official military notice. More concerning still, Jimin, known as a balancing and empathetic figure, appeared to lose emotional stability. An eyewitness inside the barracks described Jimin's expression as someone just given a choice between losing something deeply loved or sacrificing himself. This statement sparked widespread speculation across media and netizens. An official letter from the Ministry of Defense sent to HYB's management stated that Jungkook and Jimin were assigned to strengthen military morale and national resilience symbols. However, it did not explain the reasoning, the urgency of the training, or the mission details. One thing is certain: this decision was made without prior consultation or notification to the agency or the public. The focal incident occurred during a training night on April 23rd. Amid cold tension, Jungkook handed a letter to Jimin. It was read aloud in the barracks and, according to witnesses, caused Jimin to tremble, his eyes watery, his body weakened. A leaked excerpt read, "If I have to choose between going home with you or going on this mission, let me choose the mission." That line immediately ignited theories that Jungkook was ready to sacrifice, even if it meant losing his closest friend. This event raises deeper questions. Is this the beginning of a fracture? Has the seemingly unbreakable bond started to crack under the pressure of the military system and national policies? Social media reacted quickly. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and X, formerly Twitter, flooded with video snippets and speculation. From narrative reconstructions of the secret mission to micro-expression readings on Jimin's face during the night drill, the public refused to stay silent. They want to know, but just as importantly, they want to believe this is more than mere sensationalism. Yet skepticism begins to surface. Not a single official statement from HYB, the Ministry of Defense, or BTS representatives. Why? If the news is true, why haven't mainstream media like Yonhap News, SBS, or KBS reported it as a headline? Isn't the emotional breakdown of cultural icons a national issue? Here lies the sharpest irony of this story. The less is officially said, the more room there is for speculation. Some argue this is merely a cleverly constructed viral narrative, that the letter may never have existed, and Jimin's reaction is just the result of dramatic video editing. On the other hand, many believe this is a form of state censorship suppressing a story that could shake public trust. Today's reality places us at a crossroads. On one side, there's the possibility of emotional manipulation for clicks and engagement. But on the other, could it be that two young men, long under global scrutiny, are now facing a burden too heavy to bear in silence? Jungkook and Jimin are not mere celebrities. They are symbols. And symbols carry meaning far beyond just songs and dances. In this context, their involvement in Binary Operation may be more than a military policy. It could be a symbolic strategy to strengthen the nation's image. But the question remains, at whose expense? The response from HYB founder Bang Si Hook added an emotional layer to this crisis. In an internal memo to the military, he reportedly wrote, "Make sure they return as one. The world is waiting for them. Don't let this mission destroy what has been built over a decade." If true, this line confirms one thing. Concern over the emotional and professional toll of this decision is very real. Even at the highest levels of management, AT present, the public remains in uncertainty. Will this mission bring them back stronger, or be the start of an unwanted shift? No answers yet, and maybe never. But clearly, in the absence of clarity, the public remains the most loyal and most vulnerable audience to information manipulation. What we must remember is this: in an age where fact and fiction can appear identical, responsibility lies with all of us. We must be critical of sources, careful with sharing stories, and always ask, who benefits from a narrative? Still, amid all doubt and sharp analysis, one thing touches the conscience. Those tears were real. The tension in their eyes cannot be faked. Whether this is a true crisis or just the echo of digital misinformation, the world has witnessed a fragile moment from two individuals once seen as unshakable. Do we truly know what's happening with Jungkook and Jimin? Or are we simply consuming a narrative shaped by algorithms, delivered in dramatic clips, heart-wrenching music, and facial expressions that could mean 1,000 things, or nothing at all? In an era where virality outpaces verification, this question isn't just important, it's crucial. Look at how this information surfaced, starting as a quote from an anonymous source, then growing into a full-blown dramatic storyline involving a secret letter, military mission, and emotional breakdown. But let's pause and ask, where's the verifiable evidence? Where's the report from official media? Where's the statement from the military or HYB? If it's true that an official letter from the Ministry of Defense was sent to HYB, why hasn't there been a single open statement confirming it? Why has Bang Si-hook, a founder outspoken on many issues before, chosen to communicate through a leaked internal memo instead of giving a formal stance to the public that has long supported his artists' careers? And if we accept that the letter is real, shouldn't we ask further? Who first leaked it? Why did it emerge on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, platforms known more for light entertainment than investigative journalism? These questions should be enough to make anyone pause and reflect. Yet in reality, the public is swept up in waves of emotion. This isn't entirely our fault. Emotion is a human response, especially when we see two figures once thought unbreakable now appear fragile, even possibly crumbling inside. But let's flip the scenario. If all of this turns out to be part of a publicity scheme or narrative maneuver designed to strengthen BTS's position ahead of their post-military comeback, how would you feel as a fan? Would you feel betrayed? Or remain loyal, believing everything they do has a greater purpose? Could this be a distraction strategy from internal conflict in Korea's entertainment industry, or from broader political and military issues, strategically involving two major names to divert public attention? Think about it. Is Jungkook's emotional letter to Jimin, with a line too perfect not to question, not possibly a constructed narrative designed for virality? Are the tears captured in that training night video truly authentic, or just a montage manipulating different moments to seem dramatic? Moreover, is it reasonable for two active soldiers, no matter how famous, to be involved in a classified operation deemed strategic for the nation? Has such a precedent ever occurred in South Korea's military? If not, why now? We must also observe the motives behind this story's spread. If it's true, then HYB and the Ministry of Defense's communication systems must be seriously evaluated for allowing sensitive information to leak so freely. But if not, then we face a much scarier issue: how public opinion can be massively controlled by unproven narrative fragments. The public must begin to ask, who controls this story? Who benefits from this uproar? Is this a psychological, economic, or political gain?